Now in NHL 24, I attempted a very difficult challenge. Draft a player and have that player break Wayne Gretzky's point record. Now I don't think it's much of a surprise. We weren't able to break his record. We ended up finishing about 400 points shy. However, NHL 25 is a different game, so I thought I'd give this challenge another try because things are a lot different in NHL 25. Now when looking at these settings, I made a couple changes. And what were those changes? Sim engine scoring is now set to high. Draft class quality is set to high. Generated prospect quality is set to high, and sim engine shot frequency is set to high. With all of these set to high now, we are going to get some phenomenal players and some ridiculous scoring numbers. However, there is one problem right now. We clearly haven't drafted any players, so right now we have the highest overall players available in free agency. I've gone ahead and thrown them on this team right here. We're more than likely going to lose a majority of the games this season, and we're going to finish as a bottom 3 team. But with our luck, we're going to jump to the first overall pick. I'm just kidding, that's a complete lie. We're going to be the worst team in the entire league and then drop from 1 to 3. But that's okay, because we're going to find a way to draft a franchise player, a generational talent, and turn him into the greatest player of all time and break Wayne Gretzky's point record. So without further ado, I think it's just time we simulate this season, and then we get an idea of what the league's going to be looking like. Because now that we have league scoring set to high, things are a little bit different. Now earlier I was talking about how there was big changes between NHL 24 and NHL 25. Now what exactly were those big changes? This is what happens when you set scoring to high. The Florida Panthers scored 5 goals per game. Now imagine if you get a generational goal scorer. Bro is going to be scoring 100 goals per game. Like, he will just be picking up goal after goal after goal. The Oregon Golden Eagles are going to be finishing dead last, but that doesn't matter. Mike Hoffman's going to have 60 points here, but I don't care about that whatsoever. I'm curious to see who the leading scorer was this season, because don't be surprised if you see somebody pick up 150 points this season. Nikita Kucherov, 90 goals, 77 helpers, 167 points. Yeah, things get a little bit ridiculous when you set scoring to high. David Pastrnak, 145 points. He's picking up 92 goals. So it's very possible at some point in this video, we're going to see somebody score 100 goals in a season. But you know what? That person's going to have to be a pure goal scorer, and that player has to play for the Golden Eagles. Florida Panthers are going to be Stanley Cup champions here. I'm actually not too sure who they beat. It looks like they took down the Vancouver Canucks in 7 games. But now it's the moment of truth. It's time to watch this team drop from 1 to 3 in the draft lottery, because we all know what's going to happen. Wow, what a surprise. The Ottawa Senators are jumping from 9 to 2. The Seattle Kraken are jumping from 7 to 1, while the Oregon Golden Eagles are dropping from 1 to 3. It only makes sense. So I can only assume that there's going to be a franchise potential player projected number 1 here. It doesn't look like it. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised at that. I was assuming that we were going to see a franchise potential player. Michael Misa is available with the 7th overall pick. That's interesting. We could potentially trade down, pick up Michael Misa, and he'd be a superstar playmaker for us in the future. Do we do that, or do we just take him at 3? Because I'm not really too sure where Michael Misa is going to get drafted. I think we're better off just sticking with the 3rd overall pick and selecting him. Like, the rankings are saying he's projected around 7 or 8, but I don't really want to take the risk there. I think we're just going to go with Michael Misa. We know what we're getting here. We're going to be getting an elite playmaker. He's likely going to play some first line minutes, and he's going to pass the puck a lot. Like, we're going to need this guy if we want to break Wayne Gretzky's point record. Like, I just don't think Michael Misa is going to be able to be the guy for us. I don't think he's going to be good enough to break Wayne Gretzky's point record. Like, if we're going to be breaking that record, we're going to need an absolute superstar. Like, we're going to need a 97, 98 overall franchise potential player, and that's just not what Michael Misa is. But if he develops into an absolute superstar, I wouldn't be against it. So I'll go ahead and make the rest of my selections here. I don't think we're going to see anything notable, so I'll just see you at the re-sign phase. Well, I guess that's a notable player right there. We're bringing Cooper to the team, a low elite potential playmaker, only 18 years old. If he can develop, I could see him playing some top 6 minutes for us. That's if he develops though, because that's a big if right there. So here's the incredibly interesting re-sign phase where I'm not going to bring anyone back to the team. This entire franchise is going to walk. Like, literally every player here is going to be leaving the team. And then when it comes to rookies, Michael Misa, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if we sign you here, because you're not really going to have that great of a supporting cast. I probably will though, I just don't think it's the right decision. I don't want to burn a year on your contract when we have absolutely nothing here. I'm not going to lie, I was really hoping that I was going to see Mitch Marner here, because I would have thrown him an absolute bag, because he would have been an elite playmaker for us. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case here. Yeah, we're just going to be signing a lot of depth guys, like 82, 83 overall players. Nothing crazy. So I made the executive decision to keep Michael Misa and juniors for another year. I don't think he's going to be the guy breaking the point record here. This team looks very mid. They are mid. They're probably going to be one of the worst teams in the entire league, but there is one good thing with that. If they're the worst team in the entire league, they have a better chance of getting the first overall pick in Gavin McKenna, because Gavin McKenna is one player that could potentially break Wayne Gretzky's point record, especially with the simulation being the way it is. Like, Nikita Kucherov had what, 160 points last season and 90 goals? Yeah, if you get an elite goal scorer or an elite playmaker and surround them with the right pieces, you could easily break Wayne Gretzky's point record. Then again, you have to score nearly 3,000 points, so that basically means you have to be averaging 150 points for a 20-year career. I take back the easy comment. It's possible, but it won't be easy. Nah, this man really just said it's going to be easy to break Wayne Gretzky's point record. What am I talking about? I am straight yapping right now. It's going to be incredibly difficult. We have to get the perfect franchise potential player and surround them with the perfect players. There is no other way we break that record. Now, once again, the Golden Eagles are going to be the worst team in the entire league, a 25-49-8 record, but we weren't that far off the Calgary Flames. Like, we're looking at a 2-point difference here. That's ridiculous. I have scoring on high and you're scoring below 3 goals per game. That's actually impressive. That is more impressive than scoring 5 goals per game. Ryan Donato put up 73 points this season and he's an 88 overall. We are likely going to be trading him because there's no way we're going to get better trade value than that. Holmstrom is up to an 88 overall. He is being traded as well. A lot of these guys that now have X factors are going to be traded away because their trade values are through the roof. Like, it makes no sense for them to be that high. We're going to trade them for some elite playmaker, and we're going to surround them around some elite goal scorer who's going to break the all-time record, because I think it makes the most sense to bring in either a power forward or a sniper to the team that's going to take a ridiculous amount of shots and then surround that player with only playmakers. Playmakers are just going to pass the puck. They're not going to shoot, and then we let that power forward or sniper take all the shots. The Carolina Hurricanes are Stanley Cup champions. Let's get let down again. I am so excited to drop to the 3rd overall pick. It happens every year and I expect it every season. Oh, I am so happy we dropped to the 3rd overall pick. It just makes my day every season when I get to watch this franchise, and every franchise I manage drop from the 1st overall pick to the 3rd overall pick. It makes my day every single time. So I'll give up 2 second-round picks and try to get the 17th overall from Pittsburgh. They're saying no. I'll give you a 3rd rounder for this season. Hopefully this is going to be enough. Is it? They're saying no. I'll give you another 3rd round pick. I'm giving up way too much here, but we got to bring Gavin McKenna to the team. So hopefully they say yes. They're saying yes. All right, we're moving over to Philly. The 3rd overall, the 17th overall, I'll give you Holmstrom, Ryan Donato, and Mason Appleton. You're now going to give me 3 players you don't value whatsoever, and you're going to give me the 1st overall pick. That is not the 1st overall. We almost got fleeced there. This should be enough on paper. I'm offering it over to the Philadelphia Flyers. We got Gavin McKenna. There was not much time left there, but we got the deal done. Now, Gavin McKenna, welcome to the team. You're a gem. Franchise potential. You actually might be the guy that breaks the record. Now, I think we might have got the second coming of Miro Heiskanen here. We got Heiskanen, but his name's not Miro Heiskanen. It's Markku Heiskanen, 50 overall, low elite potential, and he's also a centerman. So, I mean, yeah, it doesn't really make sense for him to be the second coming, but you get the point here. We got M. Heiskanen. It's close enough. Now, when it comes to extensions, there's nothing notable here. I'll probably give all these guys some pretty cheap deals, maybe except for Jamie Benn because he might want too much money. I can do 3.8 million. We have lots of cap space to work with, but the most notable signing, of course, is going to be the rookie deal given to Gavin McKenna, and then the rookie deal given to Michael Misa. So those 2 guys are immediately going to be jumped into the lineup, and they're immediately going to be playing first line minutes. The only issue we have is there's no one on this team for them really to play alongside yet. We haven't drafted enough franchise potential players yet. We have 2 playmakers, and that's about it. However, in saying all of that, Connor McDavid is in this free agency class. So if for some reason the Edmonton Oilers didn't re-sign him, we're bringing Connor McDavid to the team and pairing him up with Michael Misa and Gavin McKenna. That's the best case scenario. Is that going to happen? Probably not. Now, unfortunately, Connor McDavid isn't going to be available here, but hear me out. Alexander Ovechkin and Panarin. We put both of those guys on the first line alongside Gavin McKenna. We signed them to really short deals here. Like our Artemi Panarin, $14 million for the next 2. We can make that happen. I'll actually give you more just to make sure you join the team. 14.8 for the next 2 years. So Artemi Panarin, I think you're going to be joining. Then Alexander Ovechkin, we might play you on the right wing. And then Alexander Ovechkin, I'll sign you to the team on a 1-year deal. We'll do $13.5 million. Actually, I'll just make that $14 million. We have a ridiculous amount of cap space. I can pay you. So Ovi and Panarin are both getting $14 million here. All right, so here's the plan. Alexander Ovechkin, Gavin, McKenna, and Artemi Panarin playing on the top line. If we want McKenna to break this point record, he has to be playing number 1 line minutes his entire career. On top of him getting first line minutes though, he needs to get first line power play time, so he's out there with Artemi Panarin and Alexander Ovechkin. All right, now this certainly wasn't a part of the plan. 8th in the entire league. I was really hoping this team would be terrible once again, even though we did have Panarin and Alexander Ovechkin on the top line, because we have to get the first overall pick and bring a franchise potential sniper to the team. Artemi Panarin 118 points and that led the way, so that's not the greatest sign for Gavin McKenna. Like, bro got outscored by Michael Carcone. Michael Carcone had 92 points here. Gavin McKenna had 90. What's going on? McKenna's up to an 83 overall. I was kind of hoping he would be a bit better than that. Michael Misa 50 overall, only a 79 overall. I mean, at least you're above a point a game in your rookie season. Ideally, next season, you're probably like a 110, 120 point guy, because some of the other scoring in the league actually ridiculous. Like, Sebastian Aho had 162 points here. When it comes to goal scoring, who led the way? Kyle Connor. That's a little bit surprising, because at one point, Jack Eichel had 30 goals in 20 games. In the next 62 games, he picked up 38 goals. So yeah, bro was kind of a fraud. But yeah, Sebastian Aho, 162 points. We just have to load up that first line. We need an incredible first line here, but the supporting cast can't be good enough to the point where they're taking minutes away from our top line. We need our top guys on the ice for over half the game. Of course, we're making the playoffs here. We're taking on the Vegas Golden Knights, but I'm going to be honest, we don't care about the postseason in this video. We only care about points and points alone. So yeah, let's simulate this real quick. Well, that was a real quick postseason for us. We were 8th in the entire league, but that meant absolutely nothing. We fell in 7 games. And then Vegas, the team that beat us, took on a wildcard team in the Vancouver Canucks, and then they got swept. So I think we can confidently say we were frauds. I am curious on what Gavin McKenna's point total was during the postseason. 7 points in 7 games. He was at least a point a game here. He's up to an 89 overall. That's a great sign for season number 2. Well, at least I know if we finished dead last, we still wouldn't have got the first overall pick, because San Jose is going to jump from 10 to 1. We have definitely learned something so far in today's video. If you want to get the first overall pick, don't be the worst team. You won't get rewarded with it. I think we found our man. I think Wilson is our man here. I don't know what it's going to take in order for us to get the first overall pick, but we're going for Wilson here. I will trade for him. Michael Misa, you will likely have to be given up in this deal, but I'm fine with that. We're bringing bro to the team. Okay, hold on now. We actually might not have to give up Michael Misa. Mason Marchment, Pierre-Oliver Joseph, the 22nd overall and a future second round pick. They're going to be saying no to that. Do I want to give up a future first round pick? We might have to. I'm willing to give up a future first round pick. I don't really want to do it, but if we have to, I will. Because I mean, at the end of the day, moving forward, we are going to be a good team. Michael Misa, I just don't think I want to trade you yet, because I think Wilson could be our guy. So we're going to hold on to Michael Misa, and instead we're trading next season's first round pick. This is a huge package right here, but I think it's going to work out for us. We actually might have to give up Michael Misa in this deal. I don't want to give up Michael Misa, because I think he's going to be an incredible player. Michael Misa likely has to be given up in this deal. Or do I just get really stupid and we do multiple years of first round picks? Like, I'll do our first round for this season, next season, and the year after. Give me the first overall. By doing this trade, we don't have to give up Michael Misa, who I think is going to be an incredible piece for us. We're bringing in Wilson. He's a power forward, franchise potential. Starting off as an 81 overall, he's going to be our scorer. He is going to be the guy that breaks the record. Like, coming into the league, he already has amazing shooting stats. He has pretty good puck skills. He's pretty physical. He has good offensive awareness, and that's incredibly important. I think we got our man. I think Wilson's going to be our guy. Gavin McKenna, even though I have a lot of faith in you to be the guy as well, I think Wilson's our man. Besides Wilson, we also got this lowly potential player, so we can celebrate him too, but I really care about Wilson. This guy, not as much. So when it comes to the re-sign phase, I think the plan is just to re-sign anyone that has a little bit of value, but we can't be doing no trades or no movements. Michael Carcone, I think this is a terrible deal right here, but if I don't give you a clause, I can still trade you away. You're 31 years old. We're going to be looking at $11 million. That's absurd. You know what? We're still going to get this deal done, and then I can trade you away. So Michael Carcone's going to be coming back to the team. Kuzmenko, you might be coming back to the team. At this price tag, it's not too bad. Actually, I don't want Kuzmenko coming back because he's going to take shots away from our power forward. And you know what? When it comes to everyone else, I think we're actually going to let all these guys walk as well. Like, I'll sign these rookies, but outside of the rookies, I don't care about bringing any of these guys back. I need to bring in players that aren't going to take shots, but are going to play defense. All right, this is an absolute game changer. Quinn Hughes is available in free agency, but we're giving him borderline $20 million. That is quite a bit for Quinn Hughes. Like, I think he's a great player and all, but this is a little bit ridiculous. Like, he wants 19.2 million. The most that he can actually get as a player is 19.88. I'm going to give him 19.8 here for the next 6 seasons. That's 19% of the salary cap. The reason I'm doing this is, as a defenseman, we're not going to find a better passer than him. Like last season, bro picked up 103 assists and he only had 6 goals because he doesn't shoot the puck. That's exactly what we need here. We need a guy who's going to pass the puck and not take shots. So I think before we do anything else, we got to figure out whether or not Quinn Hughes is going to be joining the team here, because if we can walk away with Quinn Hughes, we're going to be in an incredible spot. So Quinn Hughes, are you going to be accepting our contract offer? Like, I basically gave you the best offer that you're going to receive. I gave you everything I could here and you're rejecting it. There's not a better offer you can get. That is the best. All right, now he's only looking for $16 million. We could still bring him to the team here. What if I did 17.5? 17.5 is actually less. I'll do 17.7 for Quinn Hughes. I highly doubt anyone's going to offer more money than us. So if we can bring him in here, that's a game changer. So in theory, if we're giving him everything he's asking for, there's no reason he's not going to accept our offer. So Quinn Hughes, are you going to join the team here? You're still rejecting. I don't know why. Like, your expected salary just keeps on dropping and dropping here. I'm offering more than enough. You just won't accept it. So let's try 18 million for the next 6 seasons. You better accept one of these offers, because I know you're not getting a better offer than what we're giving you. If we don't get Quinn Hughes here, we're going to be in an incredibly tough situation. You went to Florida. No, that's not right. That is not right whatsoever. We missed out on Quinn Hughes. I'm sick. How on earth can Florida even afford you? How does that even work cap-wise? Who is on this team now? Quinn Hughes, Matthew Tkachuk, Sam Reinhart, Barkov, Seth Jones, Carver Hagee, Lundell, Forsling, Ekblad, Sam Oskevich. How on earth do you have the cap space? I mean, Bobrovsky's done here, so what's his salary cap situation? Okay, yeah, they don't have a goaltender. They got Samsonov as their number 1, Jack Campbell's the backup. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. But even still, it ain't right. Now, shout out to Michael Carcone. Although he's getting paid $10.6 million, his trade value is still ridiculously high. Can we go 1 for 1 for Jake Sanderson? They're going to say no to that. I'll throw in a young player, Aitchison. I can throw you into this deal, and that's probably going to be enough to get this one done. They need a couple draft picks. But the main point of this deal is bringing Jake Sanderson onto the team. He's going to be our number 1 defenseman. He's going to help us a ton here. All right, this is a big season right here. Artemi Panarin, Gavin McKenna, Wilson are going to be holding it down for us. I just realized Alexander Ovechkin retired on us. You know what? It's the way of the road here. I'm expecting big things from this first line right here. We have near perfect line fits across the board. I think they should be able to put the puck in the back of the net, and we should be able to score a lot with these guys. When it comes to the defense, Jake Sanderson and Perbix going to lead the way. Then when it comes to goaltending, Joel Hofer and Jake Allen go to hold it down for me. At the end of the day, this video isn't about winning a Stanley Cup. If we can win a Stanley Cup, that's great, but it's all about breaking Wayne Gretzky's point record. And Wilson, I'm going to need you to have an incredible rookie season. Okay, so I normally don't stop at the trade deadline, but I thought I'd stop here because Artemi Panarin's on an expiring contract. I don't plan on bringing him back to the team. So I asked him if there was any team he'd be willing to be traded to, and he actually said yes. We can trade Artemi Panarin at 50% retained to one team, and we can bring in a ton of assets. I'm not sure what that team is, but his trade value is decently high, where we should be able to get something. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. Why does that not really surprise me? Now, Toronto, I don't think is really going to have a lot of cap space. They actually have $6 million in cap space, so this should be pretty easy, because I'm going to retain half of his contract. So all we need to do is get some playmakers from Toronto. Now, there's not really that many players we can pick up from the Toronto Maple Leafs here. We could get Matthew Nyes, but he's going to take too many shots. However, we could pick up Matthew Nyes here and flip him. And you know what? I think that's what we're going to do here. Matthew Nyes, you're going to join the team. You're going to give me a first-round pick for next season, a second-round pick for next season, and a second-round pick for this season. And with all of that in this deal, I actually still think we can get more. So how about you give me your first-round pick for this season as well? All of this for Artemi Panarin at 50% retained. They're saying no. I'll take one of the first-round picks out of this deal. It's a little bit low. We just need a 7th round in order to get this done, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Artemi Panarin's taking way too many shots. He's taking shots away from our power forward. This is a great deal right here, but now we got to flip Matthew Nyes. And Matthew Nyes over to the Washington Capitals for Dylan Strome could be the move, honestly. You know what? For the 15th time in this video, plans have changed once again. Gavin McKenna, 97 points already at the 62 game mark. Maybe he can be our number 1 guy. Maybe we just need to surround Gavin McKenna with a bunch of shooters, because he'll pick up a crazy amount of assists. Like, he already has 79 so far. Wilson's not looking that bad. He's got 36 goals in his rookie season, 63 points, and he's taking lots of shots here. Maybe we trade Matthew Knies for a number 1 sniper and pair them alongside Gavin McKenna. I think that actually is the move here. Okay, this is wild. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. 94 goals at the trade deadline. How many years left do you have under contract? Okay, you signed an 8-year deal. That's really unfortunate. But 94 goals at the 67 game mark is ridiculous. Now this could be the move for us. Matthew Knies over to the Vancouver Canucks. We bring in Lekkermacky. He's an 87 overall. He's taken a lot of shots this season. I think right now he's in the top 30 for shots taken this season. So he's going to put the puck in the back of the net. Him and Wilson on the first line together could actually work really well. We're going to try to get a first round pick on top of Lekkermacky. They're going to be saying no, but we did get a handful of other picks from the Toronto Maple Leafs, including this second rounder. So hopefully that's going to make the difference, and it looks like it will. So if we have Gavin McKenna, Lekkermacky, and then Wilson on the top line, then we're going to have Michael Misa on the second line. We just need to bring in a couple more good players alongside him, and then I think our top 6 is going to be set. The bottom 6 is never going to be good in this video, but we're not really worried about that. The only thing we're worried about is Gavin McKenna breaking Wayne Gretzky's point record. Now unfortunately we're not going to be seeing the postseason this time around, but that's actually okay, because Oregon's top line was really good, so I don't care if we didn't make the postseason. Gavin McKenna, 138 points this season, 26 goals and 116 helpers. Lekkermacky, since you joined the team, what'd you do here? I'm assuming you picked up a handful of goals. Yes, you did. 22 goals, 16 assists for 38 points. And in those 20 games, you took 91 shots. You were shooting over 4 shots per game. That's perfect. That's exactly what I need from you. Michael Misa, you picked up a handful of points this season, 92 to be exact. Wilson was one of the top shooters in the NHL. He took 368 shots. We might have something here. We might have something in our top line, and we might have something in Gavin McKenna. Through 2 seasons, he's already picked up 228 points. That's a pretty good start considering he only had 90 points in his first season. If he can consistently pick up 140 points moving forward, I think we'll be all right, and I think we'll be able to break that record. Joel Hofer, 31 wins this season, 2 shots, an 878 and a 392. I'm not really worried about those numbers considering what the goal scoring looks like in this league. Before we even look at our cup winner though, Austin Matthews, how many goals did you score this season? He had 94 at the trade deadline. I'm assuming he picked up like 150. He picked up 117 goals here, 83 assists for 200 points. This is ridiculous. He was over 2 points a game. 117 goals is wild. That doesn't even make sense. Like, that is one of the most absurd things I've ever seen. Nah, Gavin McKenna might break Wayne Gretzky's point record, but someone like Austin Matthews might hold the all-time record once we're done, because he just picked up 200 points in a season. That's going to be huge for his career. Granted, Gretzky did pick up like 215 in one season, so yeah, nobody's beaten that record quite yet. Now, we don't own our first round pick, so that's probably going to jump up to the first overall. It doesn't look like it's actually going to be sticking at the 15th overall. I'm very happy to see that. I was fully expecting that pick to jump up in the draft, but luckily it won't be. Okay, this is perfect. This is exactly what we needed in the draft. With the 81st overall, we're getting a medium elite potential sniper. Now, this guy's a 61 overall and likely would develop in time. However, I'm still going to trade him away because we have to surround Gavin McKenna with superstars right now. Alright, now I don't plan on spending too much money here during the re-sign phase, but you know what, Nick Hague, I can't pass up on this deal right here. 5.6 for the next 6 seasons. That's a great deal. Perbix, I'm going to let you walk, though you're looking for like $9 million. And then with everyone else, I think they're all going to walk as well. I mean, Cole Koepke, I guess I can keep you on this team if you're looking for a reasonable deal. And this is certainly reasonable, 1.6 for the next 3. Alright, so last season we missed out on Quinn Hughes. We're not missing out again here. Noah Dobson, I'm looking to acquire you. I will give you $15 million a year. I'm willing to throw one absolute bag at you because I need to make sure that you join this team. Is $15 million too much? Absolutely. Like, this is a bit ridiculous. But we need Noah Dobson to join the team. Before we get ahead of ourselves here, Gavin McKenna does need an extension. Luckily, McKenna is willing to sign one, but this is not a great deal for us. We will get it done, but it's expensive. So we'll do $15 million for the next 7 years with a no movement in the final season. That's going to work out perfectly. He's immediately signed that. And then when it comes to Michael Misa, we're going to be doing another cheap deal with a no movement in the final season. 9.5 for the next 6. I hate defensemen in this game. I'm happy you joined the St. Louis Blues, but what are we doing here? I gave you more than enough. All right, we might have got real lucky here. The Toronto Maple Leafs first round pick now has a ton of value, and so is their second round pick. I could hold on to those picks, but I want to bring Tage Thompson to the team. We need another guy that's going to score a lot of goals, and I think he can be that player for us. They said no to this package right here. I'll give you another second round pick. Hopefully that's going to be enough. I think we're going to have to do a 3-team trade, and I think this is what the 3-team trade is going to have to be. Luongo and a first round pick being sent over to Calgary. Zane Parek's going to join the team, and then we'll flip Zane Parek to the Buffalo Sabres. I'll throw in our first round pick for 2029. Hopefully that's going to be enough. They're saying no. I don't want to give up Toronto's second round pick, but I guess we're going to have to here. This better be enough for Zane Parek. Now let's flip him over to Buffalo. Okay, so apparently Zane Parek doesn't fit Buffalo's trade block, but Jake Sanderson does. So hear me out. We trade Jake Sanderson away. I don't think it's really that much of a difference here. Jake Sanderson is a second round pick for Tage Thompson. They're going to be rejecting that. What more do I have to give you? Like, I don't want to give you Michael Misa. I don't want to give you Nick Hague. Beauvillier, I guess I can throw you into this deal, and then the rest of these picks. So hopefully this is going to be enough for Buffalo to say yes to this deal. They're saying no. We might not be able to get Tage Thompson. I mean, at the end of the day, our 2030 first round pick might be enough to get this done. So Jake Sanderson, the first round pick sent over. We gave up quite a bit there. So I signed Cal Yarkrow in free agency, and he actually has a lot of trade value that I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to package him up with a second round pick and bring Quentin Musty to the team. Quentin Musty can probably play some second line minutes for us. He'll round out our top 6 because right now we don't really have the greatest top 6 in the world. I think we have Justin Brazeau playing minutes for us. No disrespect to Justin Brazeau, but I'd rather have Quentin Musty, a future stick on the ice legend if he plays his cards right. I'm really surprised this isn't enough. I'll give you a 5th rounder, I guess. Hopefully all this is going to be enough. Quentin Musty, welcome to the team. We're set for the future now. All right, so I think we're set for the future now. Gavin, McKenna, Wilson, and Lecker-Mackey, Quentin Musty, Michael Misa, Tage Thompson. The only time we're going to be trading any of these guys right here is when either A, we run into a terrible salary cap situation where we just can't afford anyone, or B, they're aging out and they're basically going to retire and we have to move on from them. Other than that, we're going to be rocking this core for the foreseeable future. Gavin, McKenna, I think you're going to be the guy to break Wayne Gretzky's point record. Last season you were incredible, and with this team surrounding you, I can only assume this season's going to be even better. When it comes to the defense, Nick Hague and Zane Parek are going to lead the way. Maybe eventually we'll bring in a pure offensive defenseman, but until then, these two guys are going to lead the way. And when it comes to goaltending, I don't really care who's the starter here. We're only focused on scoring goals, not winning games. So you know what? It's a big bounce back season from last year. We've officially made the playoffs. It's the trade deadline. We made the playoffs at the trade deadline. Safe to say the team's pretty good right now. Now, I think I've been going about this the wrong way. I think finding one player to break Wayne Gretzky's point record is too difficult. It just can't be done. However, what if we found 2 players and we teamed these 2 players up alongside each other and they just built off each other? We have one elite passer alongside an elite sniper. But you know what? I think we might already have that. Wilson is picking up 171 points this season. Gavin McKenna is picking up 160. Lecker-Mackey 156. I'm not worried about Lecker-Mackey. I didn't draft him. I'm not worried about Tage Thompson. I didn't draft him. However, I did draft Gavin McKenna and I did draft Wilson. That's a big time season from Wilson right there. He's now up to 260 points in just 164 games played. That's pretty good. When it comes to Gavin McKenna, this was a big time season from him. 160 points. He's up to 388 points in 246 games. I don't know exactly how many points per season they're averaging right now. All I know is if these guys keep up these numbers, both of them could break Wayne Gretzky's point record. That's how dominant they've been. When it comes to goaltending, Hugo, 42 wins, 4 shouts, an 884 and a 340, and we were one of the best teams in the entire league. However, that success just didn't translate to the postseason. We ended up falling in 5 games to the Colorado Avalanche, who would go on to win the Stanley Cup. If we could have just gotten past Colorado, we'd be Stanley Cup champions, but I guess that's not the case here. Lecker-Mackey, 35 points in 16 games. Tage Thompson, 29 points in 16 games. Gavin McKenna, 29. Wilson's picking up 22. Zane Parek, 13. Honestly, it might just be easier for us to keep Gavin McKenna and Wilson around for their entire career, because if both of these guys stick on this team, both of them might be able to break the point record, and we don't have to choose just one. Like, so far I've been focused on finding one player to break the point record. Maybe it's just simpler if we have 2 guys break it. Who would have thought? Also, I almost forgot, Quentin Musty, we have to re-sign you. You're a critical part to this team. 5.2 for the next 4 years. We will never forget Quentin Musty. Now, I took an absolute flyer on this prospect here. In the 6th round, we're going to be getting a low league potential player. This is one of the few draft picks we actually have here. Then again, bro had 0 points last season. and 0 points the year before. He is not turning into anything, I can tell you that right now. Now in the re-sign phase, we're not looking at spending much money here. We're actually probably going to let all of these guys walk and just bring in cheaper options. We will sign a couple good rookies though. Other than that, we're not going to do anything. Alright, now this is where things are going to get a little bit scary. Wilson needs an extension here. He's going to want a lot of money. This doesn't shock me. After we re-sign him, we're going to have $14 million to work with. That actually should be enough for Tage Thompson, so maybe I'm not quite as worried as I thought it would be. But like, we have to understand, Gavin, McKenna, and Wilson are going to be taking absolute bags this entire video, and we need to make sure that both of them stick on our team. So we'll do $18 million for the next 5 years with a no movement in the final season. Wilson's accepting immediately. Tage Thompson, what are you going to be looking at? Yeah, this is why I was concerned. Tage Thompson, you're a great player and all, but $16 million for you seems like a little bit much. I'm going to look at trading you, because if I can get a really good player for you on a decent term deal, we're probably better off. Alright, so after consideration, Tage Thompson, I actually will bring you back to this team. We're going to do $14.5 million for the next 4 years. I'll give you a no movement as well as a modified no trade. It's going to have 50% team protection. I think that's pretty fair for you, because once you hit 35 years old, I do want to have the option to trade you away. Now this is an absolute no-brainer for a 1-year deal. Stick on the ice legend, Jet Greaves, welcome to the team. I can't pass him up to be our backup, because we lost Hugo because he's looking for $4 million and I wasn't giving him that. Alright, so we're basically just running it back with the exact same top 6. The bottom 6 might look slightly different, but that doesn't matter. Gavin, McKenna, Wilson, y'all better put up 200 points this season. I want to see if it's possible for these guys to have a 200 point season. Okay, we've scored 27 goals through the first 4 games. Add another 7 goals, add another 7 goals to that. We are definitely going to see a 200 point season. This team is scoring so many goals, it's ridiculous. Nah, Gavin, McKenna, and Wilson are definitely putting up 200 points each. Alright, so I learned something new here. If you have 6 forwards and 2 defensemen, you will win 65 games. That is new information to me. We scored 5.52 goals per game. That is the best in the entire league. With that, Wilson's going to be picking up 160 points here, including 95 goals. Bro's pretty good. Gavin McKenna, he's picking up 106 assists as well as 43 goals. He's picking up 149 points. So it's a bit of a step back from last season. Last season, he had 160 points, 149 this season. But Wilson was looking even better. Bro's been a stud since we brought him to the team. Like, his rookie season was underwhelming, don't get me wrong. But these past 2 seasons, he's proved he's one of the best in the entire game. Lecker 148 points. Never thought I'd say those words. Michael Misa 133. Tage Thompson 126. Our entire top 6 as well as Zane Prek was over a point a game here. Nick Hague, I need you to be slightly better. You gotta be one of our top defensemen. Joel Hofer, you won 50 games this season, but unfortunately I can't say any of that translated to the postseason, because not only did we not win the Stanley Cup, we lost to the Dallas Stars in the first round, who lost to the New Jersey Devils in the Cup final. So yeah, 65 wins got us a first round exit. You hate to see it. I don't really care what the postseason scoring looked like. Wilson had 16 points in 7 games, Gavin McKenna had 14, and Lecker had 13. This team lost in the first round. That's wild. Also, in case you were wondering, out of all players in the NHL, Marco Rossi led the way with 183 points, 65 goals, and 118 assists. Shout out to Marco Rossi. Never would have expected that. Now, this was surprisingly our worst draft. We didn't get any medium top 6 potential players, no medium top 4D potential players, no medium elite potential goaltenders. We got a whole lot of nothing here. So basically, it's just the same as every other season. We ride or die by the top 6 here. The bottom 6 just plays defense. They're not going to be scoring goals. Our top defensive pairing is going to be doing all the work. It's the same as every other year. The only difference with this season is we're about to witness a 200 point performance from one of our top guys. Now we have some good news and we have some bad news here. The good news, the Golden Eagles, once again, they're the best team in the entire league with the best offense. We have some more good news. Gavin McKenna, 180 points this season. That's going to be great for him. Here's the bad news though. Wilson, only 164 points this season. It's not bad by any means, but it is a slight step back. Actually, I think this is better than what he did last season. What did he do last season? Yeah, he actually had 4 more points. So never mind. There is no bads whatsoever. Gavin McKenna, 180 points. Lecker 168. Wilson, 164. There's nothing bad I can say. This team was locked in. They did what they had to. When it comes to the leading scorer in the league, it's going to be Mikko Rantanen. He's picking up 190 points. And our top goal scorer is going to be Leon Draisaitl, 99 goals. Just 1 goal shy of hitting 100. That would have been incredible. Also, when it comes to the Cup final, the Oregon Golden Eagles are finally on top, taking down the New Jersey Devils in 6 games. So not only are we on pace to break Wayne Gretzky's point record with Gavin McKenna, but we're also picking up a Stanley Cup along the way. But I will say, when it comes to this team's goal scoring, this is very underwhelming. Like Gavin, McKenna, Wilson, Lecker, all of you guys were over 2 points a game last postseason. Now you're picking up 39 points in 25 games. I mean, it's not bad by any means, but yeah, it's not nearly as good as what you guys did last season. And then when it comes to goaltending, who is our stud in between the pipes? Of course, stick on the ice legend Jack Reeves. Why am I not surprised? Now I think we need to gas up Nicholas Grossman here, and the only reason I'm doing that is I'm not very confident in us getting a medium elite potential player later in the draft. It is possible, but in case we don't, we have to gas up the medium top 6 potential player. Okay, I don't care about Nicholas Grossman anymore. We might have just got the second coming of Alexander Ovechkin. However, his name isn't Alexander Ovechkin. It's Alexander Ovechkin. It's not Alex Ovechkin, it's Alec Ovechkin. He's also a right defenseman, but he's a 71 overall with medium elite potential. These are the types of players we want to gas up, not Grossman. I don't care about him anymore. So after a couple great prospects, we're going to finish the draft off right here. A low-elite potential playmaker, 54 overall. Unfortunately, he can't really compare to Alec Ovechkin, but you know what? We can still highlight him. All right, there might be a slight problem here. Just the slightest problem. I don't know how we're going to deal with it, but we'll find a way to. All right, so moving forward, I'm not even going to bring up the re-sign phase because I'm never going to re-sign any of these players. I'm always going to have the re-signings done before we even get here, so there's no point even stopping. All right, here's where things are going to get really difficult. Zane Prek, you are somehow the highest overall on this team. Don't ask me how, but you are. How much money are you looking for? You're traded. I'm sorry, I can't do that. Lecker, how much money do you want? You're traded. I can't give you $21 million. I think that's actually the max I can pay you. I don't think I can give you more than $21 million. No, I can't. You are asking for 20% of the salary cap. I can't do that. So you're going to be traded. Zane Prek's going to be traded. But honestly, that's not the end of the world because we're just going to get some really cheap players. All right, y'all got to hear me out here because I am certainly cooking. Zane Prek and 2 second-round picks for Connor Bedard. Bedard, you're going to play left wing minutes for me. I'm going to play you on the top line alongside Wilson and Gavin McKenna. You're going to score for me. In 2 years, you will likely be traded away. All right, I think we're just going to rebuild our entire defense. Nick Hague, you're going to be traded as well. But we're going to start with Tage Thompson for Ryan Leonard and Bernier. Both of these guys are going to need extensions. However, I don't think their extensions are going to be too bad. Plus, Tage Thompson's getting paid $14 million now. Nick Hague, if I throw you into this deal, we can certainly get it done. We would free up a fair bit of money here. I think this is for the betterment of our team. We're also going to try to get 2 first-round picks from the Washington Capitals. I don't really care too much about these first-round picks, but I want at least one of them. Can we walk away with one? They're saying no. Give me some second-rounders then. Like trade value wise, we're certainly offering enough here, but I think we should be able to get some draft compensation. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe we're not getting any draft picks at all. A 7th rounder will make the difference. The lucrative 7th round pick always comes in when we need it the most. Apparently they need 2 lucrative 7th rounders. That's how you know the Washington Capitals are very greedy. You shouldn't need 2 7th round picks. So what do these extensions look like? Ryan Leonard, how much money are you going to be looking for? $15 million. I'm not doing $15 million. Bernier, how much do you want? See, this is reasonable. Like, I'll do a 4-year deal at $8.2 million. Actually, make that 8.3. So Bernier is going to be coming back to the team. He's accepting on the spot. Ryan Leonard, I'm going to trade you right now because I don't want to give you $15 million. Okay, now hear me out. The plan wasn't to trade Connor Bedard right after trading for him. But Landon DuPont, 8.9 for the next 5. That makes the cap situation here incredibly easy. So Bedard, I actually am going to give you up here. I can find a replacement for Connor Bedard. So after making a big deal about trading for Connor Bedard, I'm trading him for Landon DuPont now. You know what? Sometimes you have to make risky moves like this. Landon DuPont, I see the potential with you. You're going to be an absolute superstar for us. You're going to change the franchise. Our defense is set for the next 5 years. So what we're going to do next is Ryan Leonard is going to be sent over to the Columbus Blue Jackets. We're picking up Caden Lindstrom, $8.4 million for the next 5 years. He's going to play on the top line alongside Gavin McKenna and Wilson. Now, I don't know what it is, but there's a severe lack of young right wingers in the league. Like, Lecker is one of the few young right wingers. And when I say young, I mean under 30 years old. There just isn't young right wingers. So Ryan Rubrock, I'm bringing you to the team because you're on a good contract. Lecker and a 1st round pick's being shipped over. So the cap situation on this team is actually pretty good now. We traded away a couple of guys on expiring deals. We have all the main pieces signed, and that's really all we care about. Now this season is either going to be a massive success and Gavin McKenna is going to have 200 points, or it's going to be a massive failure. We have 2 offensive defensemen here, one of them being Landon DuPont. So I feel like we're going to have even better offense than we've had before. Maybe even even 6 goals per game. I mean, 6 goals per game is really unrealistic, but you know what? We have the pieces here. We have an amazing top 6 still. I just need these guys to produce. All right, I'm a little bit concerned here. Yeah, we were first in the entire league, but our offense fell off quite a bit. Like the past 2 years, maybe even the past 3 years now, we've been scoring over 5 goals per game. That has now dropped to 4.66. So we clearly have to change something here. Wilson, 163 points. That's not too bad. Gavin, McKenna, 151. Yeah, we need another pure sniper on our top line. Oh, Wilson had 119 goals. Yeah, I don't think we should overlook that. 119 goals from Wilson. He was pretty good. But yeah, we need some more pure shooters on this team. Kaden Lindstrom, Rubrock, you guys aren't going to be good enough here. Land DuPont, only 74 points. Bro, what were you doing? Like, seriously, I need you to do better than that. You were an absolute fraud this season. Jack Reeves, 39 wins. I'm not really too worried about that. I am worried about the scoring on this team because clearly the scoring isn't good enough. We fell in the second round to the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games. Definitely not ideal. But yeah, we have to fix the scoring on this team. We have to go pick up some pure shooters. Lekkernmäki, he was one of those pure shooters. Tage Thompson, he was one of those pure shooters. And we didn't replace them with pure shooters. Austin Matthews, 172 points. He was pretty good. Couldn't compete with Wilson, though. He was picking up 119 goals. That's absolutely absurd. But yeah, we got to find another pure scorer to bring to this team. One of those pure scorers would have been Connor Bedard, but we went for Land DuPont instead, and I think that might have been the wrong decision based on what Land DuPont did. So maybe we double back on this move. Now, a year ago, we traded Connor Bedard straight up for Land DuPont, but you know what? We've learned from our mistakes here. We need a guy like Connor Bedard on the top line alongside Gavin, McKenna, and Wilson. We need multiple elite scoring options, so we're going 1 for 1 here. We have to give up other assets, and that kind of sucks. Like the last time we did a trade like this, we had to give up more assets, and now we have to do it again here. This is ridiculous. But you know what? I have no one to blame except myself here. I fumbled with Connor Bedard last time, but we're not going to be doing that here. We're going to get this deal done. We're giving up all of our picks for this season and a future first rounder. This is quite a bit for Connor Bedard. I mean, in reality, it's not that much for Connor Bedard, but we are giving up like Landon DuPont. So yeah, it is quite a bit. Now, because we don't have any goaltenders under contract right now, our first round pick has a ridiculous amount of value. So we're going to do Quentin Musty and a first round pick for Levshunov. He's going to be the Landon DuPont replacement. So I can spend a bunch of time here gassing up our top 6 and how Gavin McKenna might have 200 points this season. However, I need to gas up this guy in the bottom 6. We drafted him 196th overall. He is now an 84 overall at 22 years old. We have him under contract for the next 2 years. Bro has turned into a superstar. When it comes to the defense, that looks absolutely elite here. And then when it comes to goaltending, Jack Ivankovic, I picked you up in free agency. You're going to be the guy for us. But yeah, shout out to that really late draft pick. Like, we selected this guy in the 6th round, and at 22 years old, he's jumping into the lineup, and he's an 84 overall. Never would have expected that. So trading Land DuPont was definitely the right move here. We're back to having a goals for above 5 here. 5.12 goals per game. But surprisingly, that actually wasn't the best in the entire league. The Ottawa Senators were 1 goal better than us this season. A bit of a shock. But what isn't a shock is Gavin McKenna putting up 167 points this season, including 122 assists. Connor Bedard, 78 goals. Wilson's putting up 88 goals here. Our first line was absolutely spectacular. Like, Wilson was plus 102 this season. Nah, these guys are elite. But I do want to point something out, but there is something we have to look at, and that's Gavin McKenna's numbers. He's officially 25 years old, and how many points does he have so far? 1,035. So within the first 7 years of his career, he's currently averaging 1.8 points per game, so he needs to play about 16 years in the NHL. And considering he's already played 7, I basically just need 10 more good years out of Gavin McKenna. If we get 10 great years here, we're looking at him breaking Wayne Gretzky's point record. But it's just not Gavin McKenna we're looking at. Like Wilson, he's looking pretty solid as well. 903 points so far in 492 games. You never know, we could have 2 players breaking the point record, and both of them are going to be coming from our team. Unfortunately, there's one thing that isn't happening this season, and that's us winning a Stanley Cup, because we're going to fall to the Dallas Stars in 7 games, and they're going to beat the wildcard Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup final in 6 games. No matter what year it is and where Florida's sitting in the standings, they always find a way to make it to the Cup final. Also, when it comes to postseason scoring, nothing ridiculous here. I mean, we did have 3 30-point scorers and they only played 17 games, but considering what these guys are capable of, I don't think this is wild. Now, Alec Ovechkin, it's finally time for you to get your entry-level contract here. We're going to be signing you for $1 million for the next 3 years. Don't be surprised once your entry-level contract's done, we're trading you away, because I just don't see you being a superstar player for us in the future, but what do I know? We also got this centerman down here, 77 overall, only 21 years old. You can get your entry-level contract as well. Alright, so it all comes down to this. Connor Bedard, how much are you looking for here? Can we actually afford to bring you back to the team? Not really. $21 million. It's just not going to happen. Except at 1000% will. I'm going to throw him an absolute bag here. So Bedard here's $19 million for the next 6 seasons with a full no movement. We're getting risky out here. Ryan Rubrock, we're definitely not going to have enough money to bring you back to the team. You want $13 million. We have 5.5. And that's actually not terrible. We can work with 5.5 million. Now this is working out perfect here. We're making a deal with the LA Kings. Snyder's going to be joining the team. $5 million for the next 5 years. He's an 89 overall. That works for me. We're also going to be getting a first round pick in this deal. This is a no-brainer. Like, we're fleecing LA here. I'm also going to give up a second and third round pick because I really want their first rounder for this upcoming season. Maybe I don't really care about the first rounder that much. How about you just give me a couple second rounders? Instead of getting a first rounder, you give me 2 seconds here and we call this a fair deal. Nah, y'all are bugging. Just accept the deal. What are we doing here? So Connor Bedard, Wilson, Gavin, McKenna, you 3 have to stick around for the rest of this rebuild. I need all 3 of you guys here. Connor Bedard just works perfect in between these 2 guys. Gavin McKenna, he's great alongside these 2 guys, and Wilson, he's just a dog. Like, if it gets to the point where we can't have these guys on the second line, I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm fine with 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, and 1 goaltender. I will do what we have to break Wayne Gretzky's point record. It's not even about winning Stanley Cups anymore. I mean, technically it was never about winning Stanley Cups, but if we can get some of the process, I'm not against it. But yeah, Gavin McKenna, I need another career season from you. Now this is by far the most infuriating season of all time. A 69-9-4 record. We were 1 win away from winning 70 games here. I don't think I've ever won 70 games. So what game exactly did we lose? The final one of the season. We lost the final game of the season against the Edmonton Oilers 5-3. Wilson finished with 185 points, 106 goals, 79 helpers. Gavin McKenna, 161 points here, 118 assists. Connor Bedard, 156 points. Michael Misa, 121. Snyder's picking up 100 here. We got ourselves a team. On top of this team looking absolutely elite, Wilson just hit 25 years old. He's been in the NHL for 7 years now, and in those 7 years, 1,088 points, 643 goals in 574 games. So he's clearly on pace to break Wayne Gretzky's point record, but he's going to shatter the goal record. Like, the goal record's not even going to be close here. Wilson's going to hold it by like 500 goals. Then again, Austin Matthews picked up 117 goals here. So maybe I shouldn't get ahead of myself. He's probably at 1,000 goals by now. 1,331. He's almost averaging a goal per game. Okay, that record's actually going to be pretty difficult to beat. But you know what? There is a bright spot here. The Oregon Golden Eagles are going to be Stanley Cup champions, taking down the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. We might not have been able to win 70 games, but we won the most important ones and we're Stanley Cup champs. Now, I have a pretty good feeling about this draft. In the second round, we're going to be walking away with 1 medium elite potential player, but I think we're going to be getting another one here. Because with the 99th overall pick, we're going to be selecting an absolute superstar, or at least a player I think is going to turn into a superstar. He has inaccurate scouting, but it's medium franchise. So I think at the very worst, we're probably walking away with a medium elite potential player here. And you know what? I was right. A medium elite potential left winger. So we've got back-to-back medium elite potential players. You'll love to see it. Okay, so what's the over-under for Wilson? 24 million? I think he's going to be around the $24 million range. 22 is actually not that bad, especially once we give him a no movement. We can get that down probably quite a bit. So when it comes to Wilson, this is what we're looking at. 19.5 for the next 7 seasons. He's going to be sticking around. Michael Misa, I know for a fact you want a bag here. How much do you want? 17 million. We have give or take $11 million in cap space. We'll trade Michael Misa away, but we actually can't. He has no movement. So Michael Misa will be leaving the team. So Michael Misa could potentially be leaving the team at the end of the season because I just don't think we're going to have the cap space for him. But you know what? We drafted a handful of medium-league potential players, so we should be able to package them up in order to get a new playmaker. Alek Ovechkin's up to an 86 overall. Like, what a selection that was. 66th overall, and he's one of our top defensemen here. And I didn't even plan for him to be one of our top defensemen. And then when it comes to goaltending, Hugo, you're going to be the man once again. We won a Stanley Cup with you last season. We might as well win another. Or at least I think you were on the team last season. I don't know. I feel like you've been on this team 3 different times. Now, I'm not too sure if this is going to be possible, but you know what? We're trending towards it. 6 goals per game, 5.84 here. We're actually very close to scoring 6 goals per game, so it actually might be possible. Wilson's picking up 185 points this season. Connor Bedard's picking up 175, and then Gavin McKenna's picking up 173. So that's going to move McKenna up to 1,369 points. Meanwhile, Wilson's going to be at 1,273. 133. So I guess the real question is, which of these two players is actually going to break Wayne Gretzky's point record first? Because there is a very good possibility Wilson can outscore McKenna here for the rest of the video because he is a pure goal scorer. However, Gavin McKenna is picking up a crazy amount of assists. Like, he had 133 assists this season. Bro's not messing around. Like, this team from top to bottom doesn't really have any weaknesses. Hugo, 46 wins this season, and you know what else he won? A Stanley Cup. So that's going to be our third Stanley Cup of the video. We're not even trying to win cups, and somehow we've already won 3. Also, I don't really care about the postseason scoring, but I'll look at it real quick. Connor Bedard had 42 points. Wilson had 37. Snyder had 36 here. Gavin McKenna 36. Everyone showed up. Now, unfortunately, compared to the last couple of drafts, we didn't have nearly as much success. We did get one lowly potential player, but no medium elites are better. Alright, so Michael Misa, are you interested in $12 million a year? Because that's the best I can do here. You want 18 with a no movement. It's unfortunate, but Michael Misa is going to be leaving the team. We're going to qualify this RFA. He's an 86 overall. We should be able to get a handful for him once we package him up with one of the medium league potential players we have. We have a lot of low league potential players I'm not going to be able to re-sign because they're all going to be looking for one-way contracts. But you know what? It's not the end of the world. We'll let them walk. Now, this might be the worst thing that could ever happen to us. Gavin McKenna, he's not looking to sign an extension. He is going to want an absolute bag here. Oh, this isn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Gavin McKenna, your return to the team. I thought he was going to be asking for like $27 million, and unless we gave him $27 million, he wouldn't return to the team. But we're going to look at $20 million for the next 7. He's an important piece to the team. We got to make sure he returns. Another really important player here is going to be Bernier, and I can't do a 1-year deal with him. So don't be surprised if he gets shipped out. And you know what? That might not be the end of the world because Ovi's turned into a really good player here. Maybe we just make him one of our defensemen. Like, if we sign Ovechkin, give him some time on the first pairing, trade both of our defensemen away, bring in a cheap defenseman for the left side, I think that's the move here. So this is what we're going to do with Ovechkin. 9.5 for the next 7 seasons. He's going to have 50% trade protection here. This is going to be a really good contract that's going to age really well for us. Now, with that being said, we do have to go make a handful of trades. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to trade Bernier over to the Ottawa Senators. We're getting Buse. We're getting Buse as well as 4 first-round picks. This is a no-brainer for us. It's given us a lot of draft capital, but we're going to be bringing in a great defenseman on a reasonable contract. $10 million for the next 5 isn't bad whatsoever. Apparently, 1 7th-round pick isn't going to be enough here. I'll throw a 3rd-round pick in. I don't care whatsoever. We're getting this deal done. So we're going to keep on making moves. Now we're getting 4 first-round picks from the Boston Bruins as well as this young left defenseman. He's like 27 years old. He's going to be a good player for us in the future. He's on a pretty solid contract right now. Am I really only getting 2 first-round picks here? We might have got fleeced. Now, when it comes to this trade right here, I'm a little bit concerned that we're not going to have enough money for Gavin McKenna, so we might be making another trade after this one just to free up cap space. I can't get first-rounders in this deal. That's ridiculous. Or at least I can't get 2 first-rounders. We're still getting 1. We only have $12 million in cap space. Yeah, we got to fix that. So remember how we just traded for this centerman? Yeah, we have to free up his cap hit. We can't afford to keep him on this team, so we're going to be trading for an 88 overall who's still on their entry-level contract. I'll give up our first-round pick because that really shouldn't have any value because we're going to win the Stanley Cup this season. I went through all that effort to get that centerman, only for us to immediately have to trade him away because we don't have the cap space. Also, we're going to make one deal with this lowly potential RFA. We're getting 2 players from the Islanders. They're just going to play bottom 6 minutes for me. Nothing special. Now, I'm a little bit concerned heading into this season. McKenna, Bedard, Wilson, they're an amazing top line. However, our top defensive pairing isn't what it used to be. Buse and Ovechkin are going to have to carry the way here. 2 87s. These guys aren't superstars yet, but give them a couple seasons and they're going to be carrying the way for us. When it comes to goaltending, I'm not worried about that because we're going to score 6 goals per game. Now, as you can see, we had a really good season, a 71-7-4 record, but I want to highlight this loss on January 15th. Now, why do I want to highlight this loss right here? This was our first regulation loss of the season. Up until this point, we had a 41-0-2 record. We were winning every game except for 2 games we lost in overtime or a shootout. And if this team was that good, clearly we saw some incredible numbers. Wilson, 190 points this season, including 96 goals. Connor Bedard, he's picking up 181 points. Gavin McKenna, 176 points. These guys were absolute superstars. Our second line, full of absolute superstars as well. I thought we were going to be a bit worse this season. Boy, was I wrong. This team was absolutely incredible. From top to bottom, 0 weaknesses. We went on a run this season, and it's no surprise we're Stanley Cup champions. Our offense was on another level. I believe we were 16-2 in the postseason, maybe 16-3. It was 16-3. Connor Bedard in 19 games had 49 points. Wilson had 41, and Gavin McKenna had 39. We might have the 3 GOATs on our team. By the end of their careers, All three of these guys are going to be in the GOAT conversation. It's going to be number 1, Wilson, number 2, McKenna, number 3, Bedard. You know what? The job's not done yet. We still haven't broken Wayne Gretzky's point record yet. You'll also love to see this. Jumping from 8 to 1 to get the first overall pick, and we got the 11th overall from Boston. We just stay winning. Now, a lot of special things happened this season. We won 70 plus games. We traded for the Red Wings pick that jumped from 8 to 1, and on top of all that, we got a franchise potential sniper who is also a gem. Bro is going to be a superstar. Starting off as an 83 overall, he's not going to be jumped into the lineup for at least 3 years because we have to manage this team's salary cap situation, and I don't want to pay this man quite yet. We also got the 11th overall pick, and I'm kind of hoping that turns into something. Can we walk away with another medium elite potential player here? That would be elite. It doesn't look like it, but we got an 80 overall sniper. He'll play second line minutes for us in a couple years. Now, the Ottawa Senators were really good last season, so their pick is the 31st overall. I'm going to flip that over to Carolina, and we're going to try to get 2 second-round picks here. I'll throw in the rest of the picks for this draft. Actually, I take that back because this 6th rounder actually might make the difference, and it looks like it will. Now, the only reason I made this trade is so we can bring Crosby in alongside Ovechkin. We have Crosby and Ovi on the team now. Who would have thought? Crosby's going to be the sniper, Ovechkin's going to be the defenseman. It just makes no sense. Now, moving forward, I'm only going to show you the real notable trades. I'm not going to show you ones like this, where I'm going to be packaging up one of our medium elite potential players along with a low elite potential player to get this great defenseman. You don't need to see all these trades because they're not going to be super notable. Also, if I were to show you every trade moving forward when we're flipping assets, we could be here for a minute. Now, it's actually kind of funny. Like, I'm not even trying to build a Stanley Cup caliber team, but somehow I have. Like, look at our third line. I don't even know what I'm doing here, but somehow I've built a really good third line. Like, we have an incredible top 9 here, and that wasn't even the plan. Moving over to the defense, I mean, that's completely cooked outside of our first pairing, but you know what? We only need 1 pairing here. Those guys can carry the way for us. And then when it comes to our goaltender, we have this medium star potential goaltender. Did I draft him? Nope, San Jose did. We picked him up in free agency. He's an 82 overall. He's got a little bit of potential, and I think we can work with that. Now, I actually didn't check last season, but I can only assume that we averaged over 6 goals per game. 5.91 this season, and we only won 66 games. We definitely scored over 6 goals per game last season. Wilson's going to lead the way, 176 points. Gavin McKenna is coming in right behind him, 168. Connor Bedard, 162. Gavin McKenna is about to reach his 30s. Wilson's got a couple years before he reaches his 30s. But if they keep up this production, they're definitely going to be breaking Wayne Gretzky's goal record. On top of that, they could also break another record, the most Stanley Cups won by one player. Gavin McKenna at this point's probably got 4 or 5. Wilson's got 4 or 5. So far, these two have been some of the greatest players of all time, but by the time this video is over, they will be the 2 greatest of all time. Also, too bad we didn't get 2 first-round picks from Detroit, because this one's going to jump from 5 to 1. That would have been nice. Now, we're not even that far into the draft here, and we're already getting elite players. With the 66th overall, high elite potential goaltender, he's going to be an incredible trade asset for us. Alright, so this is one big trade that we have to make. Snyder, I can't afford to give you an extension since you want about $25 million. So we're going to pick up these elite players from the Detroit Red Wings, as well as 2 first-round picks. As we know, Detroit's been struggling the past couple of years, and now we're going to own their first-rounders for the next 2. We are fleecing them. Snyder's not going to be enough to save your team. You're going to have to pay him an absolute bag. Detroit, you got absolutely fleeced there. Those picks are going to be incredibly valuable. Now, it's obvious what's going to happen here. A big 3 needs to three-peat. They've won 2 in a row. Let's make it 3 in a row. Unless they've already won 3 in a row, which is very possible. I should probably double check that. Oh, never mind. We've already 4-peated. I was unaware of this. I took a break between the 2034 and 2035 season, came back the following day to do these last 2 seasons, didn't realize we 4-peated. Yeah, our big 3 is going down as the 3 greatest of all time. Now, for the first time in a long time, the Golden Eagles aren't going to be winning the President's Trophy, a 62-50-5 record, and it looks like the Blackhawks are scoring over 6 goals per game. They're the best offensive team in the league, but they don't have a guy like Wilson who's picking up 170 points, including 107 goals. They don't have Connor Bedard, who's picking up 87 goals and 76 helpers for 163 points, and they don't have Gavin McKenna, who's picking up 158 points, including 32 assists. This team is just built different, and you know what? When you have a big 3 that good, it's going to translate into the postseason, as we're going to be taking down the Red Wings, and we just completed the 5-peat. I thought we were going for a 3-peat here. Apparently not. We just completed a 5-peat. Connor Bedard, 44 points, Wilson, 42, Gavin McKenna, 32, and he has just reached 30 years old, so you might as well just take a look at what his stats look like. And his postseason stats, they look amazing. Like, bro is putting the puck in the back of the net. However, when it comes to his regular season stats, where it matters for this video, 1,871 points. He has 1,400 assists so far. Yeah, he's definitely on pace to break that record. But we can't sleep on Wilson. He's not quite 30 years old yet, but he might be close to 2,000 points here because he's been outscoring Gavin McKenna the past couple of years, and he's sitting at 1,809 points. If he keeps up this pace, I think he's going to beat Gavin McKenna to Wayne Gretzky's record. Okay, hold on. What is going on here? Kyle Connor has turned into the greatest player of all time. He's about to surpass Wayne Gretzky in points. Kyle Connor is that man. Gavin McKenna is likely going to break Wayne Gretzky's assist record. All the unbreakable records are being broken in this video, maybe except for shutouts. I think that one's safe. Alright, so you remember that franchise potential player we drafted a couple years that I haven't signed yet? He's up to a 91 overall. He's going to be joining the team on his entry-level contract, so that helps the cap situation quite a bit. We're also going to be signing this 80 overall who's 19 years old. He's getting his entry-level contract as well. Yeah, the cap situation just got fixed. So we've been able to win 5 Stanley Cups in a row. So you know what that tells me? There's nothing stopping us from winning a 6th Stanley Cup here. We have 5 90 overalls in the top 6. Who's going to stop that offense? Our offense is way too elite here. We don't even need a superstar goaltender. An 82 overall is good enough for us to win cups. So not only did we score over 6 goals per game, we only lost 10 all season, a 72-9-1 record. This team is incredible. We are the greatest team of all time. Wilson's picking up 186 points, Bedard's picking up 180, Gavin McKenna only 156 points. That has me a little bit concerned at 31 years old. Luckily, he isn't regressing quite yet, but you know what? That could happen any day now. When it comes to goaltending, wow, they actually had goals against below 3 and save percentages above 900. That is spectacular. I didn't think that would be possible. We 6-peated. That's right, we won another Stanley Cup here. Nobody could really compete with us, except for the Kraken, who took us to 7 games. After being taken to 7 games, though, we went 12-1 to finish off the final 3 rounds. Nothing can stop this team. We're just going to keep on winning here. Wilson, at 30 years old, how many points is he up to? Well, he's up to 392 postseason points, but we don't care about that. I care about regular season points, and he's 5 points away from 2,000, so he's give or take 7 seasons away. So we're about 7 seasons away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's point record. It's going to happen one of these days. Now, we had a handful of first round picks to work with, and you know what? We're walking away with some good players. 2 medium top 6 potential players, and then with the 30th overall, we're going to get a lowly potential power forward. So those are 3 guys that could definitely play some third line minutes for us in the future. Alright, so I'm a little bit concerned because I'm not too sure if we'll be able to re-sign both these players. Connor Bedard, of course, I have to keep you around here. However, when it comes to your extension, I don't want to give you a no movement moving forward, because I wouldn't be surprised within 2 seasons if we're trading you away. So $23 million for the next 3, I think that's actually pretty reasonable for what you've been doing for us. Now, when it comes to Buse, we know he's going to want an absolute bag here. $16.8 million. You know what? I'm perfectly fine with that, because I'll do $15 million with the no movement. That will keep you around, and then we have the core locked down. And when I say the core, I mean like 6 players, because that's all we really need here. Alright, call me crazy, because Gavin McKenna started to regress. I feel like he was a 95 overall before. He is now a 94 overall. That is not a great sign. However, we have Wilson here. He's 30 years old and 95 overall. He's about 800 or so points away from breaking Wayne Gretzky's point record. We're about 7 seasons away with him, and I know he can lead the way for us. I mean, truthfully, at the end of the day, Gavin McKenna is going to break the record as well, but Wilson's probably going to do it first. Now, this team just keeps on doing incredible things. Just when I think they've reached their peak, they do something even more incredible. So we won 64 games this season. That's not crazy. We've done it before. Wilson picked up 108 goals. I believe he's done that before. 181 points. We already know what he's about. Connor Bedard, 162 points. Gavin McKenna, he's still 94 overall, still has franchise potential, 161 points here. But the real surprise came in the postseason, because we finally did it. I was hoping somehow we would pull it off, and we finally did. 16-0. We won 16 straight games. Didn't lose a single one. I don't know why I'm looking at the bracket again, but that's beside the point. 16-0 in the postseason, the perfect run. McKenna, 139 points. Wilson, 25 goals, 9 assists, 34 points. Connor Bedard, 33 points. We were finally perfect in the postseason. It finally happened. Now, I know I'm selecting this guy about 20 picks early, but who cares? We're guaranteed to get a medium elite potential right winger. We need another one on the team. The real question is, what overall is this medium elite potential player? Like, is he going to develop in time for us, or are we just going to be trading him away? 58 overall? That's not terrible. So there's a handful of players on our team looking for absolute bags now, and we got to free up some money. Lees is going to be sent over to Chicago. We're getting Radulov as well as 3 first-round picks. Radulov's an 89 overall, so this is an absolute no-brainer. Maybe we're only getting 2 first-rounders. We're getting at least 2. I don't care if I have to go assets in this deal. We're getting this one done. And then we'll make one more trade picking up Hines. 8.9 for the next 5 years. That's a no-brainer. Now, I was a little worried about Gavin McKenna dropping in potential, but you know what? We got to give Connor Bedard some props here. 94 overall, franchise franchise potential. He's 35 years old. I think the plan is after this season, I'm going to trade Connor Bedard away. Gavin McKenna is going to stick on the first line, but then we're going to bring our other franchise potential player up to the first line. It's going to be him, Gavin McKenna, and Wilson. It might not be the same as Gavin McKenna, Bedard, and Wilson, but you know what? I think this guy can fill the role. Now it finally happened. It took till the year 2041, but it finally happened. Wilson's picking up 204 points, but he dropped an overall. He dropped from a 95 to a 94. He's beginning to fall off here. Luckily, he just had a 200-point season, so he's up to 2,380 points. So he's going to break Wayne Gretzky's record in like 3 or 4 years. Connor Bedard, 183 points. He's about to be traded away. He's about to age out on us. Gavin McKenna, do you still have franchise potential? Yes, you do. 175 points this season. You have 2,363. Maybe you can beat Wilson still. It's really close between these two guys. It's neck and neck. One of these two guys is going to break the record first, but I'm not too sure which it's going to be. Also, for the first time in probably like 8 or 9 years, we lost in the Stanley Cup final to a wild card New York Rangers team. I'm sick. But you know what? I don't really care that much. We won like 7 or 8 cups in a row. Wilson broke 200 points this season. There was way too many positives for us to care about the one negative being us losing in the Stanley Cup final. Like, I could care less. We just finished a 7 or 8 Pete. We're all right. All right, so Connor Bedard, I want to thank you for all the amazing years here, but it's time for us to move on. I'm going to send you over to the Washington Capitals. We're getting 2 young medium league potential players. We're taking on these 2 guys right here just so we can make the contracts work. We're not bringing them back to the team. So Connor Bedard, thank you for the amazing times here. Thank you for the 7 or so Stanley Cups, but we have to embrace a mini rebuild. I shouldn't say rebuild. We have to embrace a mini retool. I say a mini retool because I think you might be the only player leaving the team. Now, it's been a while since we've seen a draft steal, but Tate Connor, welcome to the team. Medium league potential. You already know we're going to be trading him away. And right after selecting Tate Connor, Jose David, welcome to the team as well. Another medium league potential player, but this one's going to be a goalie. Now, you're about to watch a man spend $50 million in a matter of about 2 minutes here. So our high franchise potential player that's taken Bedard's spot, $24 million for the next 7 years. He's going to be returning to the team. Right after this, we have to qualify these RFAs, move on to next season, and then I got to re-sign Wilson, and he's going to be looking for 25 as well. So yeah, just like that, $50 million spent. So Wilson, I'm going to give you all the money we have here, $23.385 million with a full no movement. I believe that should be enough to keep you on this team, and it looks like it will be. So we've entered a new era. Galiev, Gavin McKenna, Wilson. We have ourselves a new big 3 here, but Gavin McKenna has dropped to elite potential. That is not a good sign. Not a good sign whatsoever. 2,363 points. He's 500 away. We need 500 more points from McKenna for him to break the record. Galiev, I really don't care about you, but you've been an absolute stud in these past 3 years. 128, 126, 128. If we would have drafted you like 15 years ago, you could have been the guy for us, but you know what? We have McKenna, we got Wilson, and they've been absolute dogs. We're back where we belong. First in the entire league, 67 wins, over 5 goals per game. Wilson's picking up 170 points. Galiev's picking up 168. What a surprise. Gavin McKenna, a big year from him, 161 points. This team cannot be stopped. Maybe they can though. Gavin McKenna's a 93 overall. Don't retire on me. Whatever you do, don't retire on me. 2,500 points here. You are so close to breaking the record. You're 34 years old. Just hold on for a couple more seasons. I need 3 more good years out of Gavin McKenna here. The Golden Eagles are Stanley Cup champions once again. McKenna, whatever you do, don't retire. Like, really, that's the only thing hurting us, is Gavin McKenna might decide, I'm done playing hockey, I'm going to retire at 34 years old, and that would be the worst decision he's ever made. Luckily, he's not making that decision quite yet. Like, we need a guy like Seth Jarvis, playing till he's 40 years old. That would work perfect for me. But then again, look at Celebrini, drafted 4 years later than Jarvis. He's going to be retiring at 36 years old. Granted, he is an 84 overall, so he regressed a lot more, but you just never know what's going to happen. All right, so we've reached that point where Ovi and McKenna both need extensions. McKenna, I'm assuming you're going to ask for more money. Even though you're 34 years old, you've always been about securing your bag. Also, you only want a 2-year extension. That concerns me a lot. I can't give you just 2 years. I mean, I will give you 2 years, but I need more than 2 years out of you. I'll give you a new contract in 2 years, but you can't retire on me. Don't think that's a part of the plan. Ovechkin, how much are you looking for? You want $13 million? What if I give you no movement? That doesn't really interest you. Unfortunately, the day has come. Alexander Ovechkin, you are going to be traded here. It's a sad day. My heart is broken, but if Ovi wants to leave, he's gonna leave. Also, I'm very upset we can't even trade him to Washington, because that was the plan. I was willing to take less to trade him to Washington. All right, so here's the plan with Ovechkin. I'm going to send him over to the Seattle Kraken. We're going to get their first round pick. We're now going to go over to the Ducks, and we're going to trade that first round pick so we can get their elite defenseman. Because the Ducks have this 88 overall, locked down for the next 3 at 8.2. That's a contract we can work with. They're saying, no, I'll give you our first round pick as well. Like, our first round pick shouldn't have any value. Like, we've won like 8 million Stanley Cups in this video. I don't understand why it always has value. All right, I'm going to keep it one scundo with you guys. I'm a little bit nervous. Gavin McKenna, 92 overall. He's starting to regress. He hasn't broke the point record yet, but I think he'll be able to still, as long as he doesn't retire. Wilson, he's 94 overall, and he has elite potential. I am terrified now. I didn't realize he had elite potential. He hasn't broken the record, 2,550 points. As long as they don't retire, we break the record. Also, how many Stanley Cups have these guys won? Like, Gavin McKenna, I'm going to look at your awards because I don't want to look at Wilson's because his trophy case is actually ridiculous. But so far, Gavin McKenna, 9 Stanley Cups, 2 Conn Smythes. He only won 1 Hart, 1 Calder, 1 Lady Byng, but 9 Stanley Cups. We have to get them 10. Now, the Golden Eagles did their usual thing here. 62 wins, nothing surprising from them. Wilson, 171 points. Gavin McKenna, 161. Galiev, he's picking up 156 here. The top line carried the way. What a surprise. We won another Stanley Cup. The Golden Eagles have now won 10 Stanley Cups with Wilson and Gavin McKenna leading the core. That's how good those two players have been. We surrounded them with a bunch of great pieces, and we've been able to win 10 Stanley Cups. The real question is Gavin McKenna going to call it a career here? Because there is a slight possibility he retires on me. Gavin McKenna retiring right here would be the worst thing that could happen to us, and thankfully it's not happening. Also, shout out to Lecker-Mack, who was picking up 2,010 points and 1,128 goals. Bro was him. Like, I mean, it's been a very long time since Lecker-Mack was on our team, because there was a point in time he was a superstar for us. He played 3 amazing years. In one of those seasons, 68 goals, 100 assists, 168 points. He was an absolute beast. And then he left, and he still was a beast. Like, at one point, 94 goals. Yeah, he was him. 95 goals in 2036, 2037. Bro was an absolute dog. He had an incredible career. You'll love to see it. But Gavin McKenna and Wilson, they're not quite done yet. Now, Gavin McKenna, I'm a little bit concerned. 92 overall, you have top 6 potential, you're 35 years old. Wilson, you're 93 overall, 34 years old, you've dropped to elite potential. We have a couple more good years left in you guys. You better not retire and then not break the record. I would be heartbroken. I'd also be incredibly mad that I spent this entire video trying to break the point record, and then you guys both retired 1 season before you would have done it. Like, I would actually lose my mind if you did that. So once again, the Golden Eagles are going to be first in the entire league, but I think this is the first time we ever won the President's Trophy but didn't have 60 plus wins. Only 59 wins this season. The offense was still really good, and of course that's going to be led by Wilson. 170 points this season, 107 goals, 63 helpers. But Gavin McKenna, 146 points here. You have me concerned, I'm not gonna lie. You've dropped down to a 90 overall. You have one more good season in you, I know it. Wilson, you're probably going to break the record next season. You actually might have broke it this season. Hold on. And you know what? It turns out Wilson did break it. Wilson broke the point record this season, 2,891 points. He has now surpassed Wayne Gretzky by 34 points. But now that I know Wilson did that, Gavin McKenna, did you do the same thing? Have you passed Wayne Gretzky here? Not quite. You're just a few points short, 26 points short to be exact. But Wilson did it. Wilson finally broke Wayne Gretzky's point record. He did it. The goal of this video was to have somebody break the record, and that's what Wilson did. And on top of that, to make this season even better, the Golden Eagles are going to be walking away with another Stanley Cup. So it's finally been done. Wayne Gretzky's unbreakable record has been broken. But the real question is Wilson the all-time leading scorer now? Because there is a possibility that somebody else has beat Wayne Gretzky as well. You know what? This is a glorious sight. This is something that I just love to see. The #1 point leader in NHL history, Connor Bedard. He was a member of that Golden Eagles team when they were just winning Stanley Cup after Stanley Cup. Coming in second is going to be Gavin McKenna with 3,100 points. That makes absolutely no sense. And then Wilson having 3,100 points. That doesn't make sense either. We know neither of these guys did that. These three guys are #1, 2, and 3 in all-time scoring, all of them coming from the Oregon Golden Eagles. I mean, Connor Bedard wasn't drafted by us, but he was there for all the Stanley Cups. Wilson's also going to be at the very top when it comes to goals, 1,661. That just doesn't seem right. Gavin McKenna is also going to be at the very top in assists. He's going to have 2,135. Like, supposedly, Connor Bedard finished with 1,620 goals, and then allegedly, he finished with 1,798 assists. If you add those two numbers up, you get 3,418 points. Supposedly, he only had 3,137. So you know what? Who knows what the actual totals are? All we know is Wilson 100% broke Wayne Gretzky's point record. But what are his actual stats? Nobody's going to know because none of these numbers actually add up here. But Wilson, you are the greatest player of all time, even though Connor Bedard has more points than you. I don't really know how to end this video because I'm trying to gas Wilson up and gas Gavin McKenna up, but we actually don't know what their point totals are. Supposedly it's 3,102 points for both of these players, but we just know that's not the case here. Connor Bedard, congrats on having 3,137 points, even though in reality you technically have 3,418. We're not going to worry about it. Wayne Gretzky's record's been broken, and that's all that matters.